curriculum with preserving Dallas history through metal detecting. For those of you who have not already checked out my earlier videos, please do so when time permits, and please do subscribe. I also have a new channel titled Ghost Town and Plantation Finds. Please check that one out also, and I know you will enjoy them. And please do subscribe. I am a historian, folklorist, as well as a treasure hunter. And years ago, I had the privilege of being granted permission by the site owner of a very historic, little known, and almost forgotten place here in the southern part of Dallas County. The area I'm referring to is called the Locking Dam number 1. This Locking Dam was located, like I said, 13 miles from downtown Dallas at a place that most historians and residents are familiar with, McComas Bluff. What brought this Locking Dam project into being is the city fathers had this dream, or more or less a dream, way back in 1893 or 1892, of making Dallas more or less a shipping point, similar to Houston. Not quite as big, but naturally on a smaller scale. But the problem was having ships to navigate the Trinity River. The Trinity River was not always that deep in areas because of all the fallen trees, etc., etc. So what they did was they got a group of snag boats to actually clear the Trinity River for miles and miles and miles of fallen trees, or what they called in those days just snags, in order for ships to navigate. The first ship that navigated successively to dock at the foot of Commerce Street on the Trinity River was the SS Harvey. The SS Harvey later made it a business of having what they call excursions, which some of these newspaper articles I have here, I'll give you close-ups of these at the end of the presentation. But what they would do to make their money is charge adults 25 cents and children a whopping 25 cents to make this 13-mile trip on Sundays to the picnic ground. Yeah, they had actually created a picnic ground on the Locking Dam site, and they also had a dance pavilion. My friends and I were debating about the size of the building that was actually on the property. It was really much too small to have been a dance pavilion, but the homeowner had told me when I first spoke with him on the phone that he believed the building on the property, the small wooden building, was used as a skating rink. It was still small, but it could have possibly been a skating rink. I mean, we'll never know. The homeowner, after greeting us at the gate when we first arrived that day, told us to have fun and just go at it. He was not more or less interested in anything, and just go at it, and when we leave, close the gate. So we, during our 5 or 6 hour stay, searching, that is, we never saw the homeowner again. We actually covered, this is just a small portion of what we covered. There was 3 of us. But beneath this building, this wooden building that had no paint on it, it was just raw wood made from just planks, just wood planks. Very, very old wood planks that had never been painted. The building itself was about 3 feet, elevated about 3 feet off the ground. And beneath this building was hundreds of bottles, not just a few, a handful, but hundreds of every type of bottle you can imagine beneath this building, and all in the grass on down the hill into the trees. Just covered the place, littered the ground. The house, the big house, or the White House, like they call it, which I have pictures of, how the White House looked in 1916, years after it had actually been built, and how it looks today. That house was built for the superintendent, but they called the superintendent in those days the lock keeper, the lock and dam, the lock keeper. So whichever title he wanted to go by, it was a pretty big house. You'll be able to see how big this house is. Pretty good sized house. The bottles and things we found that day were, like I said, very numerous. I took out 20 or 30 bottles, majority of which I have given away to bottle collectors, because at that point in time, I was really not into hanging on to anything glass, let alone bottles, broken neck bottles, whole bottles. My friends carried away quite a few bottles. I have no idea what became of those bottles. Who knows? I have one regret to this day about something that I stumbled across on the ground and failed to really recover them, and that was two half-buried 5-cent beer and soda signs. They were both half buried in the ground, and from looking at them, they had a lot of rust on, but from looking at them, they might have been as long as maybe, or as wide as maybe 4 feet across, maybe 4 feet by foot and a half, 4 feet by 2 feet. But anyway, those signs are probably still half buried in the ground as I stand here today. There were other very interesting things, and I'm going to give you some good close-ups, because one of the things in particular, it is the second one. I have found 2 of them, but this one was in a lot better shape. This and it is a brass luggage tag or trunk tag, and I went on Google and researched it, and lo and behold, it has a very, very interesting history. This trunk making company that started back in the 1890s in downtown Dallas. But like I said, I have bottles and some of everything here, just miscellaneous. Another interesting thing about this site, or these finds, is there's no doubt in my mind that they used the grounds for picnics due to the number of nickels the 3 of us found. I have what I found here. They are all V nickels dating back to the 1880s up to maybe 1912, 1913. A couple barber dimes, early 1900s, and some old pieces of jewelry and bottlenecks, glass bottle stoppers, and some of what have you. But anyway, without further delay, I will give you some close-ups of these articles here, as well as those articles over there. And please, don't forget when you check these videos out to subscribe. Thank you. Saying earlier, this is the lock keeper's house at Lock and Dam number 1, built 1905, 1906. How it looks today, and people are still living in it. Remarkable, very remarkable. And down here is how it looked in 1916, after the Lock and Dam had been long built. How the house looked then, sitting up on the hill. This is a newspaper article. You can see excursions, the Steamboat Harvey, McComas Bluff. And like I said, they made it a regular picnic area down there, and I'll show you why I believe it was indeed used for picnics. It's coming up. This is a very nice old bottle that people tried to get from me, and it's one that I decided to hold on to. Beer bottle, blob top. This one, unfortunately, is a wine bottle. Didn't show the bottom, but it's a wine bottle. 19, probably 20s or earlier. This is something that's very, very cool. And the only reason I have it here is because I did find it. I found two of these tags. One was in very bad shape, but not at the same location. This one was I found at the location. Right there. Very old trunk making company tag. From this company here, Henry Pollock. Or Pollack. Very old. Another close-up of this tag. Okay, another very interesting item that I kept and got it pretty clean. The reason I kept it is this curling or curl solution, whatever, bottle right here, right there. Very, very neat bottle for curling the hair. Here is some more newspaper or magazine articles. How the barges were very busy down in McComas Bluff. That was from the Dallas Morning News in May 1906. See that? Talking about the crowds of people. This is how the lock and dam looked recently. Very eerie looking, I must say myself. Very eerie looking. And they are at work. You can see the White House up on the hill, working on the, repairing it probably, the lock and dam. Another vintage beer bottle. Okay, this is an interesting bottle here. It's for scalp and dandruff, Kansas City, Missouri. Lucky Tiger Remedy. Other miscellaneous bottlenecks. Glass stoppers. So there's no doubt in my mind that they were using this for a picnic area, just like the newspaper articles did state. Miscellaneous. I found a lot more of these bottlenecks. Just didn't display them here. I got quite a few of them. Old doorknob, piece of china, a dish, mason jar lid. We find them everywhere. You find them everywhere. Soda bottles, what's left of them. Like I said, there's no doubt in my mind they were using it. $5 soda bottles. Old blob tops. This is another very interesting item. I found this in the little building. Just this old lock, naturally with no key. You can see it's a close-up of it. With more pieces of the chain was longer than that. I just decided to break off a part that I could get. Very old bottle openers or can openers or whatever. Very old ladies makeup compact. I found probably 40 or 50 of those over the year. You always find these makeup compacts. Okay, part of a ceramic doll leg. Man's part of a shaving razor. Buckles. Very old pieces of jewelry. That's all they are, just pieces. Okay, and the coins. Here are the coins. Okay, there are Indian head pennies. V-nickel, even got a shield nickel out there. And there was a dime, a barber dime. Like I said, my friends found a lot more coins than I did. But I was happy with what I did find. V-nickel, Indian head pennies. V-nickels, like I said, that's why there was no doubt in my mind they were losing nickels. That they were buying sodas. Like that. Trying to see if I can give you a better close-up after I cut one of those lights off. See, several V-nickels, Indian head pennies, the barber dime, the shield nickel, 1860 something, shield nickel, more Indian head pennies, and I believe that is about it. And like they say in the movie business, that's a wrap. Please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.